There we go. Okay, I am trying to accomplish a goal for this semester in my Intro to Education online classes to provide a short introductory to the chapter. I don't know if I'll get all of the chapters done, but I will try. I just got home from a soccer game and it's January 8th and the weather, it snowed last night, so it's very cold. I'm very thankful to be inside my office. Let me take a little drink to get started. Okay, this is chapter 1. And what we'll do is we will share our screen and go into, let's see, the class so you can see what it looks like. This is from my perspective, but I will go to the student's perspective. So this is Intro to Education Spring. And let me switch to student view, so how it looks to you. Hopefully you've looked at the introductory video and looked at the syllabus and all of that. Okay, so chapter 1, why teach? Now this course is also used for social science because schools are like microcosms of society. So whether you're going into education or you're using this for social science, you could think about why enter whatever field you're thinking about entering. Hopefully it's a love or empowerment or excitement about whatever you're studying, what career you're looking at. I know for me, I chose from the time I was in 2nd grade, I wanted to be a teacher. And I was so excited about that. And here I am 35 years later, still teaching because I love to empower other people to reach their full potential. So you need to find out your why you're choosing what you're doing. But in this course, because it's called Intro to Education, we think about teaching. So this first week, you will have a teacher and student responsibility that I talked about in the welcome. It's just for you to remember what your responsibilities are. Like I said in the welcome, you have a Canvas picture. I like to get to know you, so that's why I give you 15 points, because I really want to see 10 to 15 points. I can't remember what we gave it, so I can get to know my online students. Then you'll have a discussion, memorable teacher discussion. So let's see what that says. Choose one memorable teacher or leader. What made them memorable to you? Are there any key events that made you remember? And from your perspective, what made them? So the one I was just describing to you, I would write about my 2nd grade teacher named Mrs. Kawahigashi. I lived in Hawaii. My dad was taught at BYU Hawaii, and I had a wonderful experience because we lived right on the beach. But this teacher figured out, I didn't realize until I was older and started studying education, why I loved her so much. She helped me to know who I was and why I was here, helped me to discover my talents and increase my confidence. Man, I wanted to be just like her. I remember even my parents went back years later and wanted some of my poetry that I wrote in 2nd grade, and she would only give them a copy. That's how much she loved all of her students. But anyway, you're going to write about that. Let's look at our, you have a quiz and also a syllabus quiz, just to make sure you read the syllabus. But let's look at the PowerPoint and kind of go through what the chapter is about. Now you can see how long this takes you to download the PowerPoint. Hopefully it doesn't take you too long. I'll hit it again. Okay, in lieu of time, I'll go back and check that, but let me look at it from my perspective, see if it goes any faster. There it is. Came to my download link up at the top. Okay. So this is what we talk about in class. This is what the PowerPoint looks like. I add and take away, but it just kind of guides our discussion. When you look at this, the very beginning of the chapter is talking about 62% of society, when polled, deemed that teachers provide the greatest benefit to society. I was like, wow, that is impressive. Then I will always post the objectives in the PowerPoints. Now, this is for in class. Sometimes we use this. If you're a classroom, if you're going to substitute, this might be something you could use for to divide up into cooperative learning groups, which the research indicates that if you use cooperative learning groups appropriately, that it increases academic achievement, social relations, emotional intelligence. So that's why I try to include that in my classroom, which is a little bit more difficult with this online. So looking over all those different reasons, or like I said, if you're not going into the education field, what are you going to go into and why? Anyway, so the whole PowerPoint talks about internal reasons, which are called intrinsic, or external reasons of going into whatever occupation. Here's the graph that I think is amazing. Even more than a doctor, only 17% of when polled determined doctors provide a benefit to society. So teachers, well, teachers teach the doctors, right? So let's see what else, anything else in here that you can look at all of this yourself. I don't want to make this video really long because we know from research that online classes, you don't, I talk for an hour like my regular, I don't really talk for an hour, but I'm a facilitator and I create activities and assignments for you to do with your groups, not just me. There's another part to this PowerPoint that if you go into the classroom to do your observations, remember there's 20 hours of observation required. Even if you're getting an A, you're required to either watch those videos or go into the classroom. So part of the PowerPoint has to do with how you dress, how you behave, and your role. Remember, you're going into a person's really private home, almost like someone coming into your home to see how you manage your home environment. So this is very important that if you go into the classroom to do your observation hours, that you remember you're a guest. Okay, so there's a lot of information about that. Let's see, what else? I love this last slide. Right here. 100 years from now, it won't matter what kind of car you drove, what kind of house you live in, how much you have in your bank account, or what your clothes look like, but the world will be a better place because you are important to the life of a child, a teenager, an adult, whatever it is, the age level that you're teaching. I told you if you choose something you love, you don't feel like you work a day in your life. So that's kind of a quick overview. I hope you enjoy the what you read in the chapter, and taking the quiz is to help you make sure that you understand the important information. But we will miss you having you in class because we do lots of activities and turn to your neighbor kind of thing, which you miss a little bit, but I totally understand because I was working on my doctorate online and I could only do it that way. So thank goodness for the convenience. Okay, so that's it. I'll stop the share. Remember that if you have a lot of questions, we can hold, this is outside hairdo from the soccer game, we can hold a Zoom meeting that we can record for later, for those that can't come to the live, if you need help for any reason. Okay, happy first chapter.